Hello everyone.
Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to our channel, Exploring Places. This is me, James Rowe, and my wife.
I'm Anne.
Okay. We're here in our first place after coming out of quarantine here in the Philippines. So this video is about why we gave up everything and left the UK to come here to the Philippines. So this wasn't a one thing decision. It was many factors that made up our decision to give up our jobs and come here to the Philippines. But to start off, let's start from the beginning, and a big one was my wife. Her visa in the UK was expiring. It was expiring on March the 11th. Her visa, to renew her visa, was 2.5k in British pounds. So with the first lockdown, Anne lost her first job. She got furloughed, and any savings we had just started to save for her visa got basically swallowed up in living, right? That was one thing on our minds, was Anne's visa renewal. We also I've been working for my company, which luckily carried straight through lockdown, for 7 years. I've been there 7 years, and I was feeling, I was a driver and feeling very stale, and the job was not challenging me anymore, and basically I was just paying for the bills. We didn't have any spare money, right, to do anything.
No, because we can't do anything. We can't go anywhere. It's all closed. The mall, the shop,
Even if it wasn't closed, after we paid the bills, there's not much left, right?
No.
You buy your food, put petrol in the car, blah de blah de blah. There's not much left, and as Anne pointed out, there's a lockdown as well. So the other thing you've got to think about in that situation is I never wanted to come back after the first time I'm visiting here. I didn't want to come home. It's more fun out here, right?
Yeah.
But there was a problem. In December, the Philippines put a ban in. Was it the 31st of December? It was, right? It was only in place for about a month.
I think so.
Yeah, there was a ban on foreigners coming into the country, and even if you had a current visa, or even if you was a spouse that's married to a Filipino national. So that's a privilege that usually would apply to me, and I could come here a year visa free. But there was anyway a ban completely on foreign nationals from December 31st last year. That ban was only in place for a month. They lifted it on January the 31st, which straight away made us say, let's go. We've had enough. Let's take that money and just sell everything and take our money we have and try and make a life out here in the Philippines. So that was the second biggest turning point. So that meant we had a short time to act, and we had to act fastly. And after 7 years of working for my company, I fired my boss by giving him my month's notice. And to be brutally honest, yeah, it was a little bit mixed emotion, but I actually felt a huge weight off my shoulders the day I knew I was going to go in and give my notice. It was just a big pressure release decision made where, you know, we're going. We also had to sell everything out the house. First thing to sell was our bed frame, which was good in a way because we put the mattress on the floor, and it kind of made us accountable to do it, to proceed. That was the first thing that we sold, and actually I did that before I gave my notice in. So we also had to give our notice to the landlord because it wasn't our house, it was rented accommodation. So I gave him a month's notice, and that meant we literally had 5 weeks to sell everything. Obviously Anne's visa was expiring on the 11th, so we also needed to get out the country, get a flight for around then. You do get a bit of good grace, I think, but we didn't really want to overstay going on her record for causing any, you know, problems if we wanted to go back to the UK. So yeah, we had to act fastly. So in between selling everything, we packed a few boxes full of our things, right?
Yeah.
To go to the Philippines. Four of the removal boxes, and shipped them on the boat over to the Philippines. We had to book a PCR test. It's one of the requirements now with all the current situation. So we used a private company called DAM Health, that's DAM Health. Their location is Manchester. I believe they have another location in Liverpool and somewhere else. I think maybe Birmingham, not sure, but anyway. If you're in Manchester or Liverpool, look them up for sure. It was £120 each person, so not cheap, but it's something you have to do now. It's a requirement to get on the plane. Also to get in the Philippines, it's a requirement. The other thing you need to book is accredited quarantine hotel. So basically you look on the Philippines Bureau of Quarantine for a list of accredited hotels who they approve to use as a quarantine facility where you will have to stay for 7 nights. Then when you arrive in the Philippines, you will have to book another swab test when you're checking through their customs and immigration, and that's about 4,000 pesos each, right, love?
Yeah, 4,000 pesos each.
So you've got to bear that in mind as well. But they will come out to your hotel on the fifth or sixth day. Providing you get a negative test, you can then go on to your destination and isolate for another 7 days. So right. So handing back our keys to our landlord was the next thing, and spending the last few nights in the UK on my parents' floor, because they've only got a 1-bedroom apartment, but it weren't too bad. Of course, Philippines are used to sleeping on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And me being a former military man, I'm also no stranger to sleeping on the floor, so it was only for a few nights anyway, so it was worth it. Checking at Manchester was straightforward. The girl on the desk did take a little bit of time because she's obviously checking all our documentation. All the hotel quarantine is with an accredited quarantine facility, and then she asked me about my visa, despite me ringing the airline and explaining the balikbayan privilege here in the Philippines, because we'd seen a couple of videos right on YouTube, that saying that there was some airlines
not aware about the balikbayan privilege.
Yeah, so
we have to you emailed them, right?
I'd emailed the Philippine embassy in London, just double checking I was allowed to fly. This was after they just lifted the ban, right? So after I heard that about some of the airlines, I printed that out, and luckily I took that with me. But like I say, I even phoned up the airline the night before to see if they was aware of the balikbayan
privilege
here in the Philippines, which lets me, a spouse, enter for a year visa free. But anyway, other than that, checking was easy, and the first plane wasn't too bad, right? It was quite nice. Obviously not your usual travelling experience, having to wear a mask all the time, but hey ho, it's the situation the world is in right now. The second plane was completely different. We had not only to wear our mask, but the face shield, which was
hard.
It was tough, yeah. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable,
especially when you're sleeping and you're eating.
Yeah.
You have to remove it, and
you can only put it up to basically eat and drink.
They will announce to put it back again, to put your face shield when you finish eating.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
So yeah, for people used to normal, frequent flying in normal circumstances, it's completely different, and be prepared to be uncomfortable is all I'm gonna say. So arrival into the Philippines then, it was quite easy and straightforward. They usher you to where you need to be. You know, they guide you to where you have to next go and tell you the procedure.
We ended up in this queue with all this arrival passenger na have to sit down and fill up some form. So they would ask you if you're OFW or non-OFW, and they would pointed you where to.
Would you like to explain to everyone what an OFW is? What that stands for?
Overseas Filipino worker.
Yeah. So basically, just be prepared for a little bit of queuing, but you know, it's not too bad. It's
Won't last an
straightforward.
hour. Just a bit quick. Just all you have to do is prepare your documents, your marriage certificate, your hotel quarantine
confirmation.
confirmation, print it out, and also some money. 4,000 pesos for your PRC test. You're gonna book it there in the airport, so prepare for a cash.
But they let us pay on card as well,
Oh
right?
yeah, they'll accept card. If you have card, just if you don't have any cash, just use a card.
Okay, so why did we give up everything and move to the Philippines? So why did we give up everything and move to the Philippines? Right, so we've already gone over my wife and her visa expiring in the UK, and you know, I was going still in my job. So after 7 years I decided to quit my job and come out here to the Philippines. It wasn't just me who quit my job, was it? You also had a good job, right?
Yeah.
Anne lost her first job in the first lockdown. She was put on furlough, and then she eventually lost it because basically it was cleaning an office, big offices for a big company, which when the lockdown happened everyone started to work from home, so they didn't really need the cleaners as much anymore, so that ended that job pretty much. And about 2 months later, so you got a job cleaning,
Another job
cleaning for Asda, which you really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult for us both to give up our jobs, but like I say, I felt a bit of relief because I was coming out here. It was exciting. So that brings us on to the next thing, which is of course Anne's family. We've had, or should I say, Anne's spent 2.5 years with my family, so I felt like it was nice to come out here and spend time with Anne's family, especially with her papa. He's 90 now, and he doesn't move around as much as he used to anymore, so it's probably one of the biggest reasons. But like I say, it's not just one reason, that there's loads.
There's loads.
But of course people get homesick and they miss the family, especially when it's such a fun and friendly place like here in the Philippines, right? They're probably the most friendliest people in the world, and it's not just me who says that, it's quite famously known. Their spirit is second to none. So, and what else but the weather? Yeah, and if any of you spent any time in England, it's cold right now.
Today it's 32 degrees. So hot.
In fact, not long before we came back here, Anne was video calling her family, and her sisters was complaining because it was saying it was cold. And what was the temperature? What were they saying?
27.
27 degrees.
They're complaining it's cold already.
Yeah, we had that was not long after it was about -10 in the UK. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I can wear my shorts and a t-shirt, and
You can wear my flip-flops,
it's cool.
my t-shirt, my shorts.
But other than that, what else? The people, the weather, and what is left to say but the beautiful tropical places that they have here in the Philippines.
So all I have to do is to learn the language.
Maybe. Give me time. Let's make some.
Yeah, of course.
Let's earn some money first.
No, Rome is not built in one day. Just
Exactly.
So you've got plenty time in the world. So that's it.
On that note, thank you very much for watching this video.
That's it, guys.
Our amateur video making. It's gonna improve, hopefully. So we're gonna start regular posting to try and give you guys
An
updates and a bit of value and a bit of entertainment. So yeah, subscribe if you don't mind, and like the video. Thank you very much.
And click the button below.